About 3 months ago, I decided to make a game. The game was about a mine where you played a miner and you had to run around and mine gold. So welcome everybody to Nuggets. This is a game inspired by those kind of idle clicker games where it's just like a UI and you have to keep tapping and tapping and tapping to earn stuff. I'm going to go ahead and click play. It's going to leave off from where I was last testing it. And so you got your little guy, and it was designed for iOS. And this, where you touch, you would see your finger here and you'll be able to steer this little guy around. And you have to go around the mine, and then you get to an area which will be a cut, which is still like the temporary artwork at the moment. And you click here, mine your gold, and every like 10 taps you would get a box of gold appearing just there on the right. Tap, tap, tap. And then you collect your gold, just like so, and you carry it up to the wash plant. Those boxes of dirt would add on to the work time here, and the machine would run as the next part of the process, and then you'll be able to pick up the washed dirt, which is still the placeholder artwork. And then once you've picked up that washed dirt, and you can take it to the next part of the system, which is actually cleaning that washed dirt and getting the gold extracted from it. So you end up with these kind of what would be gold chunks or gold flakes, and then once you've got those, you can pick those up, and then you would run and you take those to the smelter where they'll be turned into gold bars, which is currently broken down at the moment looking at it. And you had this thing here where you could click on it and fix it, and it'll tell you how much it would be to repair the machinery, so you can use gold or you can watch an ad. So you can use the gold, machinery is fixed, and now the machinery is working because I've put some gold flakes in there, and you can see it's generated the gold bars. And as soon as you pick up the gold bars, you increase your gold total. And the whole idea was that you could just keep increasing your gold total as much as you could get, and then watch that gold grow. And the idea was to mine 1 million for however long that took you. You'd also have this little rabbit running around. You just saw him pop out there for a second. If we wait around, we might see him again in a minute. And that little rabbit would poop out these little nuggets, which you could also collect. There he goes. He's off. But he would also poop out actual poop. And if you accidentally collected the poop, it would take some of your gold away. So keep an eye on what that rabbit's doing. So this is as far as I've got with the game, and it's okay, you know, it's all right. The system works really well, like the upgrade system for the art, the way you collect gold and take it to each part of that process, that works really well. The bunny's a little erratic, but works. The machinery repair and upgrade system works. So this machinery, you can see, needs a bit of repair, so we can go ahead and click on that and then use the gold to fix it or watch an ad. And then the ad system would kick in, and that's how you could get a little bit of money for the game. And also, if you wanted to multiply the amount of gold you were getting, you could watch an ad which times it for 2 for like 60 seconds, I believe, and keep watching ads that way to generate revenue. I really liked what I had. I really liked the art style, and I was really pleased with kind of the way it was turning out. And then I started thinking a little bit more about it, and what it was lacking was 2 things mainly. It was lacking a story, like why are you doing what you're doing? And I think that would probably be fairly easy to implement. Like you could have like these little characters that popped up at the beginning to maybe say like you've inherited the mine and you're going to lose the mine if you don't pay off your grandfather's debts of $1 million, which is why you're trying to mine $1 million. But it also lacks that kind of antagonistic element to it. It's very kind of repetitive. So you just go around and do these things, which is cool if you just wanted to chill out and do a little bit of gold mining. But it'd be great if there was some sense of danger in there, making it difficult for you to achieve these tasks. And I don't think just the machinery breaking down is probably enough. There needs to be some other element in there. Whether or not it's like a grizzly bear that chases you around every time you pick up some boxes of gold or dirt. He just comes out of the woods and tries to steal them from you, making it hard for you to get there. Or maybe there's some kind of environmental problems that keep cropping up, like the water dries up for the wash plant. All these little things just to give it a bit more backstory. And I think it also needs like some submissions as well. Like you have to collect a certain amount of like bunny poo to stop the mine getting infested with rabbits or rats or something. Just like those little gameplay elements that are secondary but complementary to the main overall objective of the game. I mean, I still do really like this game, and I think it's got a lot of potential for just like a very casual kind of chill out clicker game on like the iOS store. So it may be like I invest some time later on to do it, but for now I think I have to weigh up what's kind of best for me. And when you're doing your own games, think about how much time you've got, how much time it's going to take to get your games where it wants to be, and whether you feel that that's a worthwhile investment of your time. And currently I think I could probably spend a good few months on this to get it to where it needs to be enjoyable for other players. And there's other projects that I would love to do more at the moment and work on this game. So I guess the moral of the story is you shouldn't be afraid to always review what you're doing, making sure it's going in the right direction, and that you're going to get what you want out of that experience from making it. And I think for me, I've gone through what I wanted to achieve at this initial phase of the game. I wanted to have these mine locations which are upgradable and can take kind of damage over time. And I wanted the ability to click on somewhere where you would have to actually physically tap the screen and collect stuff, so you can then take it and go and do something else. So I've got that kind of process system laid out and kind of nailed. And that's what I really wanted to achieve. And I think now it would take a lot longer to make that game more fun for people to play. And it's something that I want to park and probably maybe pick up next year and see where it can go. Review it again with fresh eyes. So never be afraid to stop doing something if you feel it's not right for you to be doing, and moving on to something else. So you got to do what's right for you at the end of the day. And it's always great to finish a game, but it's also important to make sure what you're doing you're going to get the maximum benefit from, and have a kind of clear plan of what you want it to achieve. I set out just having a very basic idea and probably didn't think it through enough. So had I gone through that planning phase at the beginning, I probably would have a better understanding of what I was looking to get out of the game and how to make it more enjoyable. So after parking this one, my time's going to be solely kind of focused on Echoes in the Meadow and finalizing all the planning and then taking that into full development, because that one is something that's had a lot more thought behind it and a lot more structure. So I know what the story is, what the goals are, and how to make it fun, which is something that the Mind game is lacking in at this stage. So I don't look at this as a failure, I just look at it as like a learning experience and making sure I really understand what it is I'm building and how to make it enjoyable before I go about actually investing a load of time and thought into something. So next week the devlogs will continue on Echoes in the Meadow, which is my own indie game for PCs and consoles, and we'll have a look at how I'm implementing a save system for that one. So take it easy, and I'll see you in those videos.